Hello, everyone. How are you? I'm so glad to see you all again. Today is Wednesday. That means that we're already halfway through the week. We have a lot to do today. We're going to watch some videos, including one about festivals around the world. We're going to learn a new fast fact, jump into a music lesson with Mr. Dan, and along the way, we'll take a break to move it together. And we've got something extra special today. A mystery activity for you. Are you excited? Good, I am too. This week, we've been talking about things that are alike and different. Alike means that something is the same or similar. And the word different means that something is not the same. I have a game we can play. I'm going to show you a picture of me from yesterday. You tell me if I look the same or different. What do you notice? Look at my shirt. Am I wearing the same shirt as yesterday, or am I wearing a different shirt? That's right. I'm wearing a different shirt. How about my hair? Does it look the same or different? My hair looks kind of the same. Now how about the expression on my face? I'm smiling in yesterday's photo, so is it the same or different? That's right, it's the same, because I'm smiling now. Great job! I think we're all going to be smiling soon because we're going on a field trip. Have you ever taken a field trip?
Yes!
I see a few of you have. A field trip is a trip that you take with your class to go and study something up close. We're going to go on one right now. Let's go!
Different cultures from around the world have different ways of celebrating that are based on their values and traditions. And we're not just talking about any kind of celebration, we're talking about festivals. Festival is an old French word that comes from the Latin festivus, or festivalis, meaning a day to feast, be festive, and have fun. And when they say feast, they really mean it. There are all kinds of foods celebrated and eaten around the world, especially during harvest festivals. Harvest festivals take place after crops have been gathered from the fields and are ready to be gobbled up. And speaking of gobbled, Thanksgiving in the US is one kind of harvest festival. Just like others, it traditionally features foods that come from that area. Here, you've got your pumpkin, cranberries, and turkey, all of which grow or live wild in many parts of the US. In Korea, there's a Thanksgiving-like celebration called Chuseok. A big crop in Korea is rice, so during Chuseok, families traditionally make small rice cakes called songpyeon. In some cultural groups in West Africa, people celebrate the harvest of yams, a food that is native to West Africa and has been grown there for thousands of years. But harvest festivals aren't the only kind of celebration. People around the world celebrate and remember loved ones who've passed away. On Qingming, also known as Tomb Sweeping Day, families in China traditionally visit the graves of their ancestors. They leave flowers and fruit for them, clean their graves, and burn joss sticks. In parts of Latin America, the festival of Dia de los Muertos combines both of these activities into days of celebration and tending to graves. People believe the spirits of their ancestors return to party, dance, and of course, dig into all the great food right next to their living relatives. But enough about the past. Let's head into the future with another type of festival, New Year's celebrations. Like Songkran in Thailand. Here, people believe that water washes away the last year so they can be ready for a new one. People will clean their homes and have massive water fights. The Chinese celebrate the New Year with fireworks and dragon dances. These celebrations last for days. And the cool thing about New Year's is that different cultures celebrate at different times of the year. People in the United States and Europe celebrate it on January 1st, the calendar New Year. But people in places like Taiwan and China celebrate the Lunar New Year. The lunar calendar goes by the cycles of the moon, so the New Year falls on different days each year. New beginnings, remembering loved ones, and celebrating harvests. Want to know more about other festivals around the world? You can always dig deeper.
That was amazing! I love learning about different cultures. Even though many of the festivals are different from each other, there are still some things that are the same or similar. Similar means sort of the same, but not exactly. For example, a lot of cultures celebrate the harvest. The harvest is the time of year when the fruits and vegetables are ready to be picked or gathered. Depending on where you live, the food that's eaten might be a little different, but people of all cultures like to get together to celebrate and share a meal. Have you ever been to a festival?
Yes!
Good, some of you have. Now think about what you ate there. It's fun to try all kinds of foods, isn't it? In some places in the world, the food is harvested in the fall season, just before winter comes and snow starts to fall. Does it snow where you live? How fun! Where I live, it doesn't snow. But in places that get colder weather, it snows much more. Our classroom helper has a fast fact about snowflakes. Check it out.
Depending on where you live, cold weather may bring you icicles, hail, or even snowflakes. Snowflakes form in the air when cold water freezes around a tiny little piece of dust. Ice crystals can also turn into unique and beautiful shapes. That's why we say no two snowflakes are ever alike. Well, that's all from me. Armand, out.
Thanks for that fast fact. Just like people, no two snowflakes are the same. Pretty cool, right? They're similar because they're all ice crystals, yet they each have a different shape and size. Since this week we've been talking about things that are alike and different, we've been comparing things to each other a lot. The word compare means to look closely at things to see what's the same or different about them. In fact, some things that are the same can become different if things around them change. For example, when it's cold outside, my cheeks get rosy and I might shiver a little. Brr. When it gets hot outside, I start to sweat. Do those things happen to you too?
Yes!
Most people are the same in that way. Now it's time for our music lesson. Mr. Dan will meet you in the music room. That stays the same. But he has a new music lesson for you, so it'll be a little different. Have fun.
Hi everyone, I'm Mr. Dan, and today we are going to learn even more of our chant about community helpers. We're going to learn a verse about firefighters. It sounds like this. Firefighters work hard and fast, helping forest fires not last. When you smell smoke with your nose, they'll put out flames using a hose. Just like before, I'm going to say a line and then you'll repeat after me. Firefighters work hard and fast.
Firefighters work hard and fast,
Helping forest fires not last.
helping forest fires not last.
When you smell smoke with your nose,
When you smell smoke with your nose,
they'll put out flames using a hose.
they'll put out flames using a hose.
Those are lots of verses you have learned, and I'm so excited that tomorrow we're going to add another verse to our chant about community helpers. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Goodbye.
What a great lesson! Thanks, Mr. Dan. Since we've been talking about things that are alike and different, it got me thinking about all the different cultures and traditions celebrated all around the world. In my family, we celebrate Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving is a harvest festival, like we talked about earlier. My whole family gets together and we eat a special meal. Do you celebrate any special holidays or events?
Yes!
There are so many different holidays celebrated by people all around the world. And sometimes they bring their special holidays with them wherever they go. Do you like to get together with your family and friends to share a meal?
Yes!
Wow, that's pretty much all of you. I agree. It's so fun to celebrate together. Each family has their own special way of doing things. It can be anything from eating breakfast every morning or visiting the beach every summer. In your family, is there something special you share together?
Yes!
In my family, we visit the snow every winter. We drank hot chocolate and made snow angels. It was the perfect day if you ask me, even if it was freezing. Oh, that reminds me. For today's Move It, we're going to be doing a freeze dance. ABCmouse is going to explain what to do. So get ready to release some energy because it's time to move it. Over to you, ABC.
Hi! Are you ready to move it? Then let's Geo go and do the freeze dance! Freeze! Dance! Freeze! Dance! Freeze! And dance! Freeze! Dance! Freeze! And dance! Oh, wow! You sure know how to move it! See you next time! Bye!
Freeze dancing was fun. Sometimes after dancing, I like to take a moment to calm down. Let's do this together. I'm going to close my eyes. Get comfortable wherever you are, whether you're standing, sitting, or laying down. Close your eyes. Let's imagine a little snowflake, like one from the video earlier, is slowly falling right in front of you. Are you imagining it? Just watch as it slowly falls to the ground. Just as it lands, you see another snowflake falling, and then another. Soon, the ground around you is covered in snow. Can you feel the nice cool breeze and the snow fluttering all around you? You can open your eyes now. Do you feel calmer?
Yes!
I feel calmer too. I could almost feel the temperature get colder thinking about snowflakes. That brings me to our next video with Professor Hester, who's going to talk about temperature. Temperature tells you when something is hot or cold. And when it changes, things in the natural world can change too. All right, let's check in with Professor Hester now.
Hi, kids. I'm Professor Hester. Welcome to my lab. Here, we use science to learn how the world works. We do that by conducting experiments, or as I call them, Professor Hester's testers. Hey, that rhymes. The Hester's tester for today, the superpower of water. That's right, plain old water has a superpower. It can change into 3 different forms. The first form is water as a liquid. This is the form you know the best. When water is a liquid, you can drink it, take a bath in it, play in it, swim in it. The second form is water as a solid. What happens when water gets really cold? That's right. After a little time, it freezes. Snow and ice are really just solid water. Isn't that amazing? When water is solid, you can skate on it, Ski on it! Build snowmen with it. Even make a work of art with it. For this next part, I'll need a little help. This is Jester, my science partner. He's a Labrador Retriever. Professor Hester and her dog Jester. Hey, another rhyme. We've seen what happens when water gets very cold. But what happens if water gets very hot? It turns into its third form, water as a gas. This one is a bit trickier to explain, so move in close. Closer. Closer. Now, when solid water is heated, it melts into liquid water. When liquid water is heated, it turns into gas. You can't see that gas because it's invisible. But even if you can't see the gas, you can hear it. Listen, as the gas rushes out of the teapot, it... That's right, Jester! It whistles! When that hot gas goes outside the teapot, some of it cools off and turns back into water as a liquid, which we see as steam. Water is everywhere! Woohoo!
Wow! Professor Hester sure knew a lot about the different states of water and how temperature can affect it. Water can look very different depending on the temperature. All right, I know you've been waiting a long time to find out what today's mystery activity is. Are you ready? Ta-da! It's a search and explore music video with ABC, 1, 2, 3, and Do, Re, Mi. I hope you'll sing along. Here we go.
Galapagos, Galapagos, Galapagos Islands. They were made by volcanoes millions of years ago. From saltwater iguanas to Galapagos penguins, here are a few fun facts that you ought to know. More than 200 years ago, a man named Charles Darwin studied many types of animals in the Galapagos. It was he who figured out how they survived on the islands, what they did, how they changed from their wings to their toes. Imagine penguins living on a tropical island, or iguanas that can swim in the sea. You can see a tortoise that's 100 years old, or birds that swim but can no longer fly free. Galapagos, Galapagos, Galapagos Islands. They were made by volcanoes millions of years ago. With such fascinating animals you'll only find there. If you get the chance to visit, you really should go. There's so many things to see there, you really must go.
Galapagos, Galapagos, Galapagos Island. That's a catchy song. Today was our lucky day because we got to go on 2 field trips. Did you like that?
Yes!
So did I. I don't know about you, but I learned a lot today. We learned about some of the ways people around the world celebrate their special cultural events and holidays, and that special foods are often a big part of these celebrations. We also learned about the different ways water can change when the temperature gets hotter or colder, and how when it's very, very cold, water can even become a snowflake. We're all different and special, just like those beautiful snowflakes. What was your favorite part of today? Mine was learning about some of the ways people celebrate their culture. Maybe you could ask your family to tell you about the special ways they like to celebrate your culture. Will you do that?
Yes!
That's great! I think they'll like sharing that with you. I had such a fun time today, and I hope you did too. Now, we have some new activities, puzzles, and games for you to play right after this. It's time to say goodbye, but I'll see you again at the same time tomorrow. And as always, remember, the more you learn, the more you'll love learning. Goodbye.
ABCmouse.com